This video is going to be straight and to the point. I'm going to show you how to dominate fast using a few simple steps introduced with the new World Aeternum expansion. If you're a veteran, it doesn't matter. This expansion is new for everyone, so don't worry about being behind the curve. With the new Archetype build system, it's a whole new ball game, and my goal here is to show you how to hit S tier with ease. The new Archetype system brings 7 distinct playstyles, but not all of them can scale to S tier. If you're unfamiliar with S tier, it's the highest rank in gaming tier lists, meaning these builds deliver the best performance, highest damage output, and most efficient scaling for both PvE and PvP. With the right archetype and setup, you'll be able to crush in-game content, dominate PvP zones like the Cursed Mists, and breeze through raids like the Hive of the Gorgons. So here are the new archetypes: Destroyer, Musketeer, Mystic, Occultist, Ranger, Soldier, and Sword Bearer. And within these there's a ranking criteria. 3 of them. This criteria helps to enhance these archetypes even more. There's trade skill usefulness, weapon synergy, and lastly, damage and utility. For this video, I'll focus on weapon synergy with a particular spotlight on the spear, the only weapon within the soldier archetype that can reach S-tier scaling. But if you're not a fan of spears, no worries at all. The Aeternum system allows you to equip 2 weapon types and switch between them seamlessly during combat. This flexibility ensures that you can always pair your favorite weapon with the most effective one. And this is important because certain enemies have weaknesses to specific weapon types. For instance, heavily armed enemies are more vulnerable to piercing attacks from a spear, but resist slashing attacks from a hatchet. So your success relies on synergizing your weapon choice to adapt to the enemy in front of you. And you won't need to worry too much about weapon weaknesses in early to mid game, but as you reach end game, it becomes essential to combine your scaling with trade skills. I'll cover this in more detail later. For now, just know that trade skills add extra versatility and depth to your combat, letting you adapt your build as you face tougher enemies. But the spear is an S-tier weapon on its own, ideal for players who want a blend of crowd control and damage over time. It excels in stacking bleeds and debuffs on enemies. This makes it a potent weapon for longer fights. You're gonna need it. The spear is not only great for single target damage, but can also disrupt groups of enemies. Let me tell you, on a personal note, the spear is absolutely insane. You can throw it like a javelin, and with the right perk, it becomes a knockdown attack that deals extra damage to targets on the ground. And guess what? When the enemy gets back up, you can use a sweeping attack that knocks them right back down again. And this speaks to more of why it's in the S tier category. The power isn't just in the damage, it's in how you control the battlefield. You can cripple enemies, keep them on the ground, and force both NPCs and players into compromising situations where they're stuck in a cycle of knockdowns. For my secondary weapon, I pair the spear with the bow. This combination allows me to engage from range when needed, picking off enemies or softening them up before closing in for melee combat. And get this, both weapons scale with dexterity, meaning I don't have to split my stat points. This synergy lets me maximize my damage output while staying agile and controlling the fight. If you stick to this strategy, you'll have no problem leveling quickly and dominating in both PvP and PvE. Stay focused on your primary weapons and scale your stats correctly. And be smart with your archetype choices. The goal is to build efficiently early, so you can explore other archetypes as you level up. Trust me, this will put you ahead of the curve. And here's where it all connects. The stats are what amplify your damage exponentially. Dexterity, for instance, allows your weapon damage to scale up by as much as 90% as you level. But it doesn't stop there. Dexterity isn't just about raw weapon scaling. It also directly enhances agility, giving you the ability to dodge attacks while maintaining stamina. And with high dexterity, your movements become fluid, allowing you to stick and move with ease, which is exactly how I like to play. Having dexterity as a primary stat makes it much easier to pull off combos, deal heavy damage, and take minimal hits in return. But here's the kicker. Spears scale not just with dexterity, but also strength. This combination makes for a devastating 1-2 punch. With strength in the mix, your attacks hit even harder, delivering a sting that enemies won't recover from quickly. It's the perfect synergy. High dexterity lets you evade and strike efficiently, while high strength ensures those strikes leave a lasting mark. Now, let's slow down a bit, okay? I'm just a little excited, and rightly so, because this game is simply amazing. But let's move on to an important tip. It's very easy to get overwhelmed with all the weapon options at your disposal. They can spread your stats too thin. Staying focused is the key to getting strong early. Choose 2 archetypes to focus on during early stages, and you'll be surprised how much faster you can level up other weapons later. This strategy works well because lower level weapons require very little XP to increase in level, and the XP you gain from hitting higher levels like 30 or above, even 20 and above, will trickle down and boost everything else so much faster. Now, not all archetypes are S tier, but don't sleep on A and B tier ones. These archetypes excel in specific areas, sometimes even surpassing S tier builds in certain situations. For example, the Great Axe may not have the fastest attack speed, but it compensates with crushing blows that obliterate enemies in just a few hits. If you adopt a crush mentality, focusing on raw power over speed, then those attack speed limitations won't even matter. It's all about leveraging the strength in each archetype to suit your playstyle. But here's the thing. This is only the beginning. There's so much more to explore in New World Aeternum, because with the introduction of these new archetypes, weapon combos, PvP zones, and trade skills, we've barely scratched the surface of what's even possible. As you level up, experiment, and adjust your build, you'll unlock even greater potential, discovering synergies and strategies that fit your playstyle perfectly. So this is a strong starting point. But the beauty of Aeternum lies in its endless possibilities. You can always adjust and optimize your build as you go. That's one thing I love. You're never stuck in any archetype. This allows you to adapt to new challenges and content that developers continue to roll out, whether it's tweaking your trade skills, mastering new archetypes, or diving into the high-end PvP and PvE content. So this journey is yours to shape. Stay flexible, keep learning, and most importantly, have fun while doing it. I know I am. The road ahead is exciting. I can't wait to see what you all come up with. Let me know in the comment section below what builds or archetype combinations you're working on. And feel free to ask if you need any help along the way. If you like this conversation, then like the video. And don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I'll see you in the next one. Be right out.